Good day, everybody. Welcome to Canadian music in the 80s and 90s and more. Um, it is my privilege to be once again joined by Dillon Ryan. I think he's my fan. He actually watches what I
I
do.
do. I do. I enjoy the show, and thank you so much for having me back. And I always look forward to our chats.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I love your music, and you have great taste in music, which
Thank you.
uh,
It's always
but
helpful.
you've been pretty busy lately. You've had quite a busy summer with gigs, haven't you?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, I try and keep busy with gigs all throughout the year because it's predominantly how I make my living, that and teaching music. But summer's always a good melting pot for different show opportunities, and I've been busy with. I've done lots of solo gigs, done a few full band gigs with Dillon Ryan, the Dream Romantic, and some of my tribute bands have been doing a lot of shows. And yeah, it's just a great time for playing music, and I'm excited for lots of stuff coming up.
You do a lot of, I saw you had an Oasis tribute band, speaking of Oasis, and you went back to Toronto to see them. How was that trip?
I did. Oh my God, I don't even know where to start with that.
Mm.
It's Oasis is really the band that got me into songwriting.
Mm.
My brother got me into them when I was younger, and I got really into their first couple of records, uh, especially when I was in high school, because everyone at the time was playing metal, and I just, I was into that for a while, and I just figured I was like, there's so many people that are so much better at that kind of thing than I am,
Yeah.
and I just got into Oasis, and I got really hung up on just the simple songwritings, just very catchy and effective melodies, just nice arrangements. And that kind of set me on my path for songwriting. And I know maybe the stuff that I do with my band, you wouldn't listen to it and maybe think, oh, that sounds like Oasis. But
Yeah.
when I got into Oasis, I would listen to interviews with Noel Gallagher, and he would talk about the Smiths and the Stone Roses and Joy Division and that kind of stuff that he listened to growing up in Manchester, and I got really heavily into that, and that became a huge part of my DNA for what I do as a songwriter. And as far as the show goes, it's seeing Oasis, that was something that I never thought would ever happen. They broke up when I was 18, so I was kind of too young to
Yeah.
uh, see them. And yeah, it was the one reunion I never thought would happen. And getting to see that, it was a really emotional experience for me, and it inspired me to want to be a better musician. And I think it kind of ruined concerts for me because it set the bar so high.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah, I guess a lot of people didn't think that was ever going to happen. And, when you get a chance, I guess you go because you don't know what's going to happen these days. We've lost so many great musicians over the past couple of years and recently too, with losing Ozzy and
yeah,
so like you got to take the chance when you can. So, and like you said, you didn't know if you were ever going to get a chance to see that, right? So
right. No, and I spent a great deal of my life sort of defending myself for being an Oasis fan because, they're a very polarizing band. They're one of those bands that you either really like or you don't
yeah.
get. And I have a lot of musician friends that would tell me, "Oh, Oasis sucks" and all that. And it just feels like a moment of like I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it just made me proud to be an Oasis fan, just seeing all the success that they're having, not just in England, but internationally. And it's just,
Right.
those songs hold up. You cannot like the Gallagher brothers, you cannot like this or that, but at the end of the day, they're just great songs.
Mhm.
Do you mind if I plug a couple of shows that I'm doing for our Oasis tribute?
Absolutely, please do. Yeah, if there's let me know if there's an online you can check out the shows. I'll put a link up. in
For
the description
sure.
for you.
Yeah, the next one we have coming up is we got a really cool event happening at Yip Cider, October 4th, which is located in the Kingston Peninsula, which is right
Okay.
outside St. John, New Brunswick. It's going to be a great fall night there. We're doing it inside a great big dome.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
it's part of like a British invasion event. So it's us. We're going to be doing a full set of just Oasis classics, drawn pretty heavily from their reunion set. We're going to be doing that, and there's another great band playing called Caboose, and they're going to be playing tons of just British classics, spanning from the '60s to present day. So yeah, we're looking really forward to that. It's just going to be a great celebration of music. And other than that, we have another gig with the Oasis tribute at the Carlton. I've never got to play the Carlton in Halifax before, so we're doing that November 27th. So yeah, we got those two gigs coming up for the tribute.
Are you gonna bring it to PEI sometime?
I would really like to bring it to Trailside.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been working with some people behind the scenes, and we're going to try and expand it a little more. We're going to try and hit all the provinces, certainly in Atlantic Canada, if not further, because we're kind of the only one doing it in Atlantic Canada. And
Yeah.
I always start our shows off by saying, we're Atlantic Canada's premier Oasis tribute, and
Yeah.
we're doing this before they reform, so we're not just cashing in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, yeah, well, they have lots of tribute acts at the trail side, so I think you guys would fit right in. Um,
definitely.
and just when you see the lineups there, like some of the tribute bands are better than the original bands at this
Yeah.
point sometimes. But I mean, I can't see Oasis. They probably still have it, I think. They're
Oh,
not over the hill.
they were incredible, and Liam Gallagher's taken some flack in recent years for different things about his voice, but as far as I know, he's quit drinking around show dates and quit smoking. So like he sounded amazing. So yeah.
Yeah, so it must be really cool that you do the tribute show and to actually see the actual band do what they do must have been just awesome for you.
Yeah, it just gave me more ideas of little things that could make our tribute better. Maybe a few little things that we didn't think of or that we were missing. Sometimes when you hear a band live, you hear things in the songs that you don't really hear up front in the mix, like when you're
Yeah,
listening to records. I'm sure you can speak to that. I mean, you've
yeah.
saw a ton of bands live. Sometimes just when you hear it live, you're like, "Oh, is that what that's doing?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it's yeah. And you're used to playing with a band, and I've seen you play on your own, which was
right.
awesome too. So, is that something you could do too? Is there anything you could branch out and do like your just acoustic show with just you and your guitar? Or is that something else you're going to be doing too?
Yeah, I mean, I would say predominantly that's a huge part of the work that I do. Like, I would say 80% of the gigs I play are solo acoustic. I think we were chatting about this last time, but most venues these days are kind of more set up for
Yeah,
acoustic shows, and places that can have bands is few and far between. But there's a great thrill in playing with a band that is I don't want to say better than playing solo. It's just different. Uh, for years and years, I only played in bands, and when I started playing solo, it took me a while to get to really enjoy how free and just enjoyable that could be. But so I enjoy both playing with a band and solo.
I was saying off camera there. I'd really like to see your band come to PEI next year and play Somo Fest. If I can put in a good word for you, I definitely
Well,
will.
I would love for that to happen.
Because I could definitely see you guys fitting right in because I've been kind of researching all the bands that are coming this year, and I'm really discovering some amazing music, and that's what this is all about for me. Like I love discovering things I didn't know about before, and then you look at these bands and you're like, wow, they've been around for like 15 years already. I've never heard of them until now. And
Well,
that's the best part about it.
that's what I mean. Like, I started my band uh, in 2013, and I've saw a lot of bands come and go from the scene in Atlantic Canada, but us and a few other bands were still kicking around after a decade.
Oh, that's good. It's good. It means you're obviously not doing it for money, so you're obviously doing it because you love it, and that's what shows when you see someone play live. You know they're doing it because it's something they want to be doing.
Right. And, I always think that there's a lot of bands that they'll put out a couple really good records, then they think that they have to make another band when they want to like change their sound slightly.
Yeah,
I like the idea that I have Dylan Ryan and the Dream Romantic, and I can change a little bit with each record. That's fine. I don't need to start another band uh, to be able to try a different sound. I mean, I think the underlying character of one songwriting stands out kind of despite what style you're doing.
do you find the music like I found it anyway? I saw you do the acoustic thing, and the songs you do with the band, the New Romantic, they I mean that music really comes off well acoustically too. Um, but the band thing sounds great too. Like is it some do you write acoustically or do you write with a bit? Does the band contribute?
Oh, the band definitely contributes, and a lot of like the producer on our last record, John Mullane, who plays in the band In Flight Safety. He had a lot of great ideas on the songs in terms of like maybe like little overdub parts, and
Right.
definitely some of the co-writing on a couple of the songs. But a lot of times I'll write on an acoustic or I'll write on a piano just to get kind of the bare bones idea of something.
Yeah.
And once I get like a quote unquote song, I'll start writing guitar riffs, and I'll bring it into the band, kind of a more classic style of things like these are the chords, and uh, feel free to embellish on top of it. So I always see it as I may bring the songs in, but it's definitely a group effort. I never see it as like this is all me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, because you never know if you got good musicians with you in your band, they might be able to go, hey, then maybe this would sound cool in there. They'll listen to what you're bringing to the table and they'll be like, oh, maybe we should add this to it. And then you're like, yeah, that actually is good. That's the whole thing about collaborating with other people, right?
Definitely. And I think that if you don't allow that in, you're just going to be at a standstill as a songwriter for your whole life, and you're just going to kind of just release like kind of like a static line of just the same kind of material.
Yeah.
Uh, I've learned so much from playing with different musicians, not just in my main band, but just even playing in cover bands and tribute bands and playing with different musicians. You learn all sorts of things that you can bring back into the creative process.
Have you got anything new ready to record yet? Like, are you going to go back and record some new stuff soon or?
Yeah, actually, I recorded some acoustic stuff not too long after I was talking to you, and I was listening to it, and I was like, I could release another full like just acoustic record, but I was listening to it and I was like, I really hear some drums on it. And
Yeah.
I sent the track over to Alec, the drummer in the Dream Romantic, and I said, would you mind adding some drums to this? So it's kind of hard to say what it's going to end up like, if it'll be a full acoustic song or if it will end up being a band song. But yeah, we'll see. Hoping to release something this fall.
I always look forward to new music coming from anybody. It's still an exciting thing for me. I know a lot of the bands I interview, nobody really wants to hear new stuff from them, but I do. I want to hear
Well,
what they're doing
definitely.
now. It's still exciting. It was always exciting when a new album came out by one of your favorite artists, and it still is for me. That includes everybody. So,
I
to make,
think that a lot of the older legacy bands make great new records and people just have no time for it. Like, I think the last couple of Sloan records are great.
oh yeah,
I think the last I think 5440 still make great records. If we're just
yeah.
talking about Canadian artists, and yeah, I mean, and there's so many Canadian bands that I wish were still making more records. You know, I'm
I
sure you
mean,
feel the same way.
Honeymoon Suite has a new album out. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And they did one 2 years ago, and it's amazing too. And it stands right up with anything they've ever done. And they're still doing it. They're still out playing shows like crazy, and I love to see that. I
But they're
interviewed.
so tight. There's Honeymoon Suite is one of the tightest bands, tightest live bands in the business.
Oh yeah,
And I'm sure that they go out there and they play all these shows. It's got to inspire them to make new music. So it makes sense that they would be if they're putting on good shows and it's receptive, it makes sense that they would make good new music.
I mean, you also got to think. They've been around for a while. They're more mature. They probably have a different and probably better songwriting style than they did when they were in their 20s, right? So,
I've always been under the impression that why wouldn't you get better as you get older? People
mhm.
always think in their head that when an artist gets older, it's going to be a decline. And I don't like to see it like that because I would say that there's some artists, like I went to see Styx a couple times in the last few years, and you compare it to videos of them playing in the 70s and 80s, they
Yeah.
sound so much better now. Like,
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, another example that I always thought was Rush. I'm a big Rush fan, and I've just loved to see a lot of people might, get on a band's case because they went away from what made them famous. But you know what? I don't want to hear a band do the same record over and over again. I want to hear something different coming out of bands. It's how you grow as a musician. It's like the whole
yeah,
Van Halen thing. A lot of people are like only the David Lee Roth era, but
I love
they,
both eras, both.
yeah. Like Sammy came in and gave Eddie a chance to experiment more, and I thought that was great. You
Well,
know.
I mean, if I like, I'm a Van Halen fan. A lot of people probably wouldn't think that, but if I'm doing my top five favorite Van Halen records, Van Halen 1, uh, Fair Warning, uh, For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, Balance, and maybe Diver Down. So that it's about half and half.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm my favorite. I love Van Halen both eras as well, like you do. And but my favorite song is Dream from
Yeah.
5150. Like I just think it's a beautiful piece of music.
Yeah, I just think that it's just the same band, but just a different chapter. I mean, I would definitely say that maybe Van Halen 1.0 is more unique, but there's no doubt that Sammy Hagar is a great singer and really helped embellish Eddie's more expansive musical ideas that maybe
Yeah.
he was a little bit more limited to with Roth, but
But still, they're both great eras. Like they made
absolutely.
both singers made some of the greatest music I've ever heard in my life. Like I mean, when I was a teenager, if it didn't sound like Van Halen, I didn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I liked White Lion so much. I thought they were the second coming of Van Halen when I first heard them. I don't know if you remember them, but
Yeah.
uh, but
There were so many bands that were influenced by Van Halen, a lot of which were absolute garbage, but there were some that like I don't know if you remember that band Trexter.
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like their guitarist Steve Brown, like he's amazing.
Well, I talked to guys here, the two guys that I know from the Fabulously Rich, the Tragically Hip cover band.
Yeah.
Um, they were talking about the guitar player from Haywire, and they said he is a Van Halen freak, and he can play.
Oh,
He can.
unbelievable.
He's like, if you ask him, he'll play anything Van Halen can play. Like he was such a big fan of theirs, and he became a guitar player because of Van Halen, and he brought that to Haywire quite a bit from what I some of their albums
And
that I
same
heard.
with uh the guitar player from Honeymoon Suite. He's very
Oh,
much
Derry, yeah,
yeah. It's interesting. You can kind of look at a lot of we'll just talk about 80s Canadian bands, but
yeah,
you have I would say there's like three different guitar camps. Like you have the Haywires and the Honeymoon Suite, who
yeah,
were disciples of Edward Van Halen. You had bands like Platinum Blonde that were more in like The Edge
yeah,
and Andy Summers from The Police. So you would have like Platinum Blonde and maybe like the Payolas,
yeah,
and then the other camp I would say is the people that were influenced by like Johnny Marr and
yeah,
Peter Hook, not Peter Hook, Peter Buck from REM, and you'd have bands like Grapes of Wrath and Northern
yeah.
Pikes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, yeah. It's just
Yeah,
so many. There's and it stretches all across the country too, which I find is amazing. Like it stretches from Vancouver right over to the Maritimes.
yeah,
Like and same with the '90s band. The '90s bands all had such a different sound too. Like we were talking about Big Sugar, you were talking about Sloan.
hmm
5440 went into the '90s even bigger than they were in the '80s, and
I
there
just
was
saw 5440 3 weeks ago in New Glasgow, Nova Scotia. They played one of the nights at the Jubilee. It was 5440, The Odds, and Carol Pope.
oh wow,
Yeah, what a great bill. Oh
what
my
a
God.
night that would be. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
I love the fact that recently, over the past 10 years, I've actually seen nights like that. I don't know if you've ever been out to Hamilton, Ontario. They have the Festival of Friends, and the Friday night they had the Box, Men Without Hats, and the Psychedelic Furs all on the same bill.
yeah,
Like, how is
yeah.
that not an awesome? That was one of the best nights I've ever seen. Like, three amazing bands in a row. Like, just incredible.
I t I'm telling you, I would love to play one of those, the opening slots at one of those Mick Bowl shows.
Yeah, I'm gonna send your information to Ed.
Yeah,
I think you'd really fit in at those shows. I really think
yeah,
you would. Even if you get a chance to come out next year and see the Mick Bowl shows,
yeah.
I mean, it's such an awesome weekend. Like, I mean, the
Like I
lineup it
see the
goes.
lineups for that, and it just seems like a celebration of everything that I enjoy about like that era of music.
Yeah, and the other thing that's funny is while you're watching one band, you look around the room, and the next thing you know, Gord from the Spoons is standing right behind me, and I look over in the corner, and the Kings are there.
Yeah.
Like it's just you don't know. And then you look over, and it's like, that's the drummer from Saga standing there too. Like you don't know who's going to show up at these shows. That's the other fun part about that. It's like a
Saga's a band I always wanted to see live too.
yeah. So they're still doing their thing too. And I was telling you about this band 416 that blew my mind. They brought the guy on stage who did Kiss You When It's Dangerous.
Oh yeah, 8 seconds, right?
and,
Yeah.
and played that live. Like it was such a great night, and yeah, I can definitely see you fitting right in with that show. But yeah, I'd like to talk to the Somo. If the Somo guys are watching,
Yeah.
give Dylan a call and bring him next year because I think he'd fit right in with everybody. Your band or solo, I don't care, whatever you want
I'd
to
love to
do.
be there, guys. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so I'll try and put some links into the description here of some of the stuff you got coming up.
Mhm.
And come over to PEI soon, please. We got to see you over here.
Do you want me to rattle off some other shows that I have going on?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm assuming this is going to be up before the weekend.
I'll probably put it up later this evening.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so this Friday, we're doing a Dylan Ryan and the Dream Romantic full band show. We're doing a show at Harvest Music Festival in Fredericton, New Brunswick. What else do we got? The 19th, I'll be playing at the Porch in Hampton, New Brunswick.
Mhm.
The 20th, at Riverside Entertainment in Miramichi. And what else? Here, I'm going to check my little list here. Oh, yes. And I mentioned the Yip Cider show with the Oasis tribute on October 4th.
Yeah.
And October 10th, I'm playing at the Herring in St. Andrews, New Brunswick.
Okay.
October 25th, playing at Grand Falls Brewing. October 30th, playing at Oak Creek Brewing in Moncton, New Brunswick. And November 7th at New Maritime Brewing in Miramichi, opening for an Ontario band called The Wilderness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I might see if I can get over to see you in Moncton when you're there.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Do you ever come to Moncton much?
I do. I have family over there. I like to get over there as much as I can. And, if I'm not working a hockey game or something over here, I definitely like to come over and see that. It's cheaper to get over there now. So
Yeah, that $20. It was, what was it, $50
it was
before?
$50.25.
Yeah, I remember after the day after the show that you saw at Trailside, and I spent the day raving. I was just like, I love Charlottetown. It's such a great music city. There's awesome food everywhere. Then we get to the bridge, and I'm like, and it's like 50, 25, and I'm like, oh, no, this is why I don't come here.
Yeah, but now it's not so bad.
Yeah, no, now it's
It's
nothing.
it's definitely more affordable. There's excuses to come over and there's excuses to get off. No excuses to get off the island. It's a lot more affordable now.
Yeah.
So so that must be better. Yeah, I was just thinking that'd be better for musicians like yourselves if you want to come over here and play. It's not going to cost you so much to get to leave.
And definitely, and it must be so annoying for musicians that are from the island,
Yeah.
like there's only so many places to play on the island. I'm sure they want to go over to New Brunswick and Nova Scotia too, and having to pay that every time must have been so annoying.
Well, I couldn't I'll tell you a little story about my friend's band Whiskey Jack. They came over here, did a maritime tour, and I don't know who scheduled those dates for him, but they had to leave and come back to PEI 3 times. And they had 3 vehicles with them. So you're talking about $150
Right.
times three because they couldn't schedule all their PEI shows for one stretch there because they had to do Summerside. Then they went over to St. John and then they came back and did Charlottetown and then they went back over it. I was like, wow, you might want to schedule that a little better next time 'cause that's like $300 right there and bridge tolls just to play those shows. So I
Oh,
couldn't,
it's rough, man. Like the economics of being like a musician that travels around to cities, like because there just isn't a whole ton of money to be
yeah.
made after gas and hotels and food and whatnot. Like even some of the bigger artists, they're not really making a whole lot of money.
Well, that's what Kevin from the Grapes of Wrath was telling me. They're doing the acoustic thing because it's a little more economical to put on those shows because you're just two guys and a couple of guitars, and the show did not suffer. Like it was a great show. It
Oh,
was
absolutely.
like it was. I
And
mean, I wasn't sure what the acoustic thing was going to be like with them, but it was incredible.
well, I kind of apply the same logic to what I'm when I do acoustic shows, like, like I'll embellish the guitar sounds with some nice delays and reverbs and
Yeah,
I'm not just hacking away like strumming the same four chords for a half an hour, like I try and do some nice guitar work just to try and like get a bigger picture of the songs for people because I don't think that acoustic shows always have to be this kind of secondary thing to
Yeah.
playing band shows. They can be at the exact same level, if not better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
And it must be fun for you to try and do that, to try and do something more with an acoustic show than just,
definitely.
like you said, just strumming the guitar and stuff like that. Like it must be fun for you to try and, oh, I could do that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, even recently I started, doing a bit of harmonica live too. Like I find sometimes when I'm doing these 3 hour like cover shows, just me and an acoustic guitar,
Hmm.
having the harmonica for a couple songs each set kind of breaks up the monotony.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you're capable of doing it,
yeah,
like I don't know if I could play the guitar and harmonica at the same time. I've tried. It's definitely not an easy task.
right.
So you definitely gotta respect people who can do that, play two instruments at once.
What's your relationship to music? Do you play a lot of music?
Um, I butcher the guitar.
Okay.
And I've been doing that for about, I don't know, 15 years. I'm not very good, but I play well enough that people who don't know what I'm doing go, wow, you're pretty good. And I'm not really, but cowboy chords, that kind of stuff.
It's just all about having fun, though, at the end of the day.
Yeah, it is fun. I mean, the thing that made it fun is when you got together with friends that played, and you'd sit in a room and everybody just kind of fool around, and that's what made it fun. And that's how I learned to play. What I did learn to play is just by sitting around with a bunch of guys with guitars and in a room and just kind of watching what they do and learning a thing or two. So, but I have fun. I like to play around with the guitar. I mess with the harmonica once in a while, but I can't do both.
Right.
I've always found it far hard to sing and play at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly an adjustment.
Yeah.
Long before I was ever a singer, I played lead guitar in a lot of bands, and uh, when I started writing my own songs, I learned to sing after that. But when I started doing live shows, like it was definitely an adjustment. I mean, now it's second nature, but it's one of those things that everything, guitar, vocals, pretty much anything you do, I always say you got to put a good 10,000 hours into it.
But I respect what you do because I mean, I was up at a birthday party for my cousin. It was his 50th a few weeks ago, and there was three guys playing at his birthday party in the hall, and they kept saying, "Why don't you come up and play something with us?" And I'm just like, I don't know. I really got to build up the nerve to sing in front of people. I'll do
Right.
it sitting around with just me and my wife in the house. Doesn't bother me at all. She doesn't care what I do, um, but when there's a bunch of people around, I really got to build up some nerve. And I don't know how you do it every night. Like you have to, I guess. I guess you just get used to it after so many years, but I find it really hard to build up the nerve to sit and do that in front of somebody.
Well, I would give this one uh, note about that. I guess I grew up being a pretty introverted person, and being a singer and a frontman for over 10 years, it really made me come out of my shell by necessity
Yeah.
and much more. I like to think that I'm much more of an outgoing person now. Like I look at who I was over a decade ago and I'm like, I can't believe that's the same person.
I mean, doing this is real. I mean, I figure if I'm not going to be a great musician or a guitar player, this is fun too. Talking to guys like yourself and, actually I'm not uncomfortable walking up to bands I see play in a club or something or in a bar like yourself and saying, "Hey, you want to be on my channel?"
Right.
And most of the time they're usually pretty nice. And, I was blown away to run into you who actually watches what I do. It just
Yeah.
made it
Well, that's
really
what I mean.
awesome.
Like it's such a small world. And no, I think most of the musicians that I've met, like no matter like how famous or anything, or it's just most musicians just they're a fan of music first, and
Right.
like musicians love talking about music. They love talking about records. They love talking about, oh, who produced this, who produced that. Like people, like my relationship to music, my favorite part of it is just talking about music.
I know I could sit there. We could do this all night, couldn't we?
Yeah, totally.
It's the other guy. Did you watch? I talked to Bill Welichka again,
Yeah.
the Much Music VJ. What a fascinating guy he is. Just amazing guy. Like he's such a fan of music. Like I mean, and that's what I when you find someone in common like that, and I'm getting to the point where I have interviewed a few people more than once, and I
Hmm.
like that because I feel like I'm becoming friends with some of them.
Yeah.
Like I've interviewed Kevin 3 times from Grapes of
Yeah.
Wrath, and it seems like whenever they got something going on, I'm like, "Hey, you want to come talk about it?" And he's very gracious with his time, and he's pretty nice to me, and it's awesome. Like, it's kind of fun. Blair Packham from the Jitters, I talk to all the time. He's become a friend of mine. Whenever he wants to push something, he gives me a call, and I'm kind of liking that now. It's fun.
Yeah. I mean, and I think it comes down to just what I'm saying. We've been talking for 35 minutes now, and
I'm not keeping track.
well, no, I was just looking at just because
Yeah.
I wanted to make the point that we might have talked about half of it about stuff that I'm doing, but other than that, we've been talking about Van Halen and
Yeah.
like just stuff that we like, right?
Yeah, and then there's some people I've interviewed that Rick Emmett blew my mind. I was so nervous to interview him because he's like a true legend of Canadian music and music, period.
Hmm.
And he talked my ear off all night. You know what? And I'm like, you go. You want to talk for 10 minutes, you go right ahead. You're a fascinating guy. You've been around, and I have no problem letting you talk and take over the interview. That's what you gotta love that when someone that you've been listening to for so many years does that.
Well, I remember last year. Opened for Sloan here in Miramichi, and I was always such a fan growing up of Jay Ferguson because I remember like when I was a kid watching Much Music, and I would see the Sloan videos, and he was playing a Rickenbacker.
Yeah,
And I was just like, that guitar is so cool. Like, he's my favorite member of Sloan. Like, and he did
yeah,
all like the jangly riffs. And
yeah,
I remember just telling him that, and we got talking about Johnny Marr, and he's just like, "Oh, I love this part on this Smiths record," and like it was just we're all the same. You know what I mean? We're
yeah,
just music fans.
yeah. You're music fans, and then yeah, when you get talking, you realize, hey, we can be friends too. That's
Yeah,
that's pretty darn cool and pretty special.
yeah,
Um, and what I was saying before, that goes for you. Anytime you want to come on and talk about something coming up, you reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to come and sit down and chat some more.
absolutely, Alan. Always a
Any
pleasure.
anytime you want to do anything, even if you just want to talk about music or something
Yeah,
exciting going on, I don't care. We'll sit and talk about it, and we'll let everybody listen to us.
yeah.
I appreciate it. Hope you get over to PEI soon. If
I
not,
hope
I'm
so too.
I'm gonna try and get over to Moncton to see you when you're there.
Awesome.
Um, so now that it's a lot more attainable to do that financially to get over
Yeah,
there. But yeah, I love Moncton. It's a great city.
yeah.
I have family over in Riverview, so
I
yeah.
just played in Riverview 2 weeks ago. There's a brand new venue there called the Holy Whale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a super nice venue for bands.
And they got great record stores in Moncton too.
Oh yeah, Spin It, Frank's.
Yeah, Frank's blew me. I couldn't believe Frank's when I first saw it.
Yeah.
I should actually do an interview with him someday.
Yeah, Carl, the main guy that runs the place, like he's an absolute legend. Like
Yeah,
I've been I've been going in there since I was a little kid. Like my parents would take us to Moncton on the weekend, and living in Miramichi, a quite small town, like and the only place that at that point that I had been to was Moncton. And, like as a kid growing up in Miramichi, going to Moncton for the weekend, you felt like you were going to New York.
It's the same thing here in the island, right?
Right.
Getting off the island and going to Moncton to go to Costco or something like that.
Yeah.
It's always such a big deal, right?
You guys must have a Costco now, though.
In PEI? No,
Yeah.
no, we
Oh,
don't.
wow. I thought you did for some reason.
No, we don't. I mean, it's different for people in other parts of the island. They come to Charlottetown to do their shopping, like the big
Right.
shopping, because there's stores here that just don't exist in other parts of the island. So,
Yeah.
but that's part of being in this region, right? So,
Yeah.
but can't thank you again for joining enough for joining me. It's great to talk to you still again, Dylan.
Always a pleasure.
Keep plugging away at it. Love what you do. Um, and we'll get this posted as soon as we can.
Awesome.
Take care, my friend.
Peace.
All right.